Welcome to Beyond the Spot. I'm Melissa Thornley. Today we have with us Mitch Apley. Mitch is the Senior Director of Broadcast and Print Production over at Abelson Taylor. Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Abelson Taylor, but you didn't start on the agency side.
Right.
Where did you actually get your start in the industry?
I came to the area via Northwestern, the radio TV program. Coming out of there, I did some freelance work, but I got an internship at Post Effects in the engineering department.
Did you have any background, a technical background for that?
I mean, no, I didn't. But Don Dan was the chief engineer, and he was very strict and exacting, and he taught us exactly how things were supposed to be done, and so that's what we did. For a while, I took a break and did a documentary with Bill Curtis over in Saudi Arabia in 2002. So it was a year after 9/11. We were over there for 3 weeks trying to figure out what was going on. And I mean, I could do a whole thing just on this trip. This is the only time in my life that I've ever been held at gunpoint. Because the first day that we got there, Scott Jacobs and I went into the Ministry of Information so that we could get our paperwork, which would allow us to film. What we didn't know is that you're not allowed to film government buildings under any circumstance.
Oh.
And so the guys in the guard tower came out, took our cameras with AK-47s like in our chest, like one for each of us, me and Scott, and they held us there until our minders showed up. Bill came over after we got everything set up, so he missed all of that fun part.
He didn't get to be held at gunpoint?
No, he probably would have talked his way out of it. And then, what was it, 2005 RDS resolution opened? Mm-hmm. So I went over there, which was great because it was sort of like just a larger version of Post Effects. Abelson Taylor had been a client of mine since, actually right after the Saudi Arabia thing. At St. Peter was like my main client. And while I was at RDS, he was generous enough to offer me basically like an exec producer role inside the agency. And at first I was like, no, like, you agency people are miserable. I talk to you all the time. You guys are stressed out, like you hate your gig. You know, I'm off doing TV shows and movies and corporate stuff and, you know, whatever. But after a while, it was time to try something else, so I made the jump.
One of the other things that you do is you've done all of these films for the 48-Hour Film Festival.
Right.
Did that start when you were at RDS?
Well, I started doing 24-hour film festivals when I was at Post Effects because I was young and sleep was this optional thing. And it was at RDS was when we first started doing the 48. The first year I came to the agency, I mean, part of why I hesitated because I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do a 48-hour film. But I was able to kind of cobble together enough favors and friends, and we put together a film and we actually won that year.
48 hours just seems to be such a limited time. I mean, you don't know what your genre is going to be until you get it Friday night.
And I think there's like 18 different categories that you could potentially be making. So it's really hard to pre-plan. Like everybody always says, oh, you just come up with all your ideas ahead of time. That doesn't really work.
Right. So what's your favorite part of the filmmaking process?
I love being on set. I love when you get into that mental state of flow where everybody's focused on creating assets, and if there's a problem, everybody's kind of working to get it done, because when you're in that flow mode, ego goes out the window, your whole sense of self just sort of disappears, and you're just working together to do that. And after a really good shoot, like at the end of the day, there's no better feeling. Like when you call wrap, and everybody's happy, and everybody's satisfied, the buzz that you get from that is like nothing on the earth. Right? Like it's absolutely incredible.
But making stuff is fun.
Yeah.
What's the first stuff that you liked to make? Like when did that kick off in your life for you?
I mean, high school in Geneva, Nebraska, we had a VHS camera and a little half-inch cuts-only system. And we did news and sports, and we made stupid music videos for Weird Al Yankovic songs.
What were you like in high school?
I was sort of in everything, and I wanted to be good at everything, and when you're in a town that small in a class of 35, you can be in everything. So yeah, I mean, I played football, I was in band, I was in drama, I was in show choir. Like I know how to do jazz hands.
What's the secret to jazz hands, good jazz hands?
Well, now you can just watch Glee, but you spread the fingers, and then you do the double shake.
I can't seem, do you get both of them to shake at the same rate?
You can work on that. I mean, that's definitely one of those things that...
You'll have to teach me. You'll have to.
Yeah. If you're really good, then you can start to shimmer like that.
Who knew Mitch Apley could shimmer like that?
I mean, I'm not very practiced.
So this is the point in the show where I get to ask you my 3 questions. And so the first one is, you've already answered it, but I'm going to ask it again. Where do you come from?
I come from a small town in the middle of nowhere.
True. And where are you going?
I think I'm on a journey to continue telling stories in new and interesting ways.
And what keeps you going?
Family, friends. I'm very lucky to have a good set of both of those things. But professionally, I kind of try to maintain this sort of constant state of panic. It's like a controlled panic that I might stagnate, or that I might someday not have the right answer for a problem. So I try really, really hard to never get satisfied. I never want to like feel like everything's totally cool, because it's just not.
But no, I see what you're saying though. It's like a level of creative dissonance to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, yeah. If you, the second you stop like being fearful that you're going to get left in the dust, that's exactly when it's going to happen.
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming out to be on the spot. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you so much.